Well, the TPP has not yet passed, but the TPA, that is to say fast track, they had to change the name because everybody knows how evil fast track is. So they even changed the damn name of it. And it just passed the Senate, which means that for the next 6 years, the next 2 years of the Obama administration and the first and the entirety of the first term of the next president, the president is going to be able to propose legislation, and as long as he calls it a trade package, and keep in mind, the TPP has got 5, 6, maybe 7 sections out of almost 30 that have to do with trade, and the rest has to do with nailing down the rights of corporations against the rights of democratically elected governments like ours. It just passed, and it passed with the help of 12 Democrats. It still has to pass the House of Representatives. We will see what happens there. And Jim, you want to put the Senate number up? My radio call-in numbers have obscured my... I've got to change the... What is it? 202? Yeah, okay. We'll get to that in just a second. Let me just give you an example of what this all means. Japan, here's the headline from Reuters. Okay, yeah, if you want to call your member of Congress, now's the time to call the House of Representatives. I mean, you can call these senators if you want, these Democratic senators who voted for this, and tell them what you think. But frankly, I don't think they care. I mean, you know, when I lived in Oregon, I may or may not have. I believe I did, but I can't say for sure. I just don't remember. But I occasionally contribute to politicians, and I think that I donated to Ron Wyden's campaign. I certainly had him on the show a lot, and when I was in Portland doing a local show, we had him in the studio a lot, which is arguably supportive. But I don't think Ron Wyden needs my money anymore. I don't think he needs your money anymore because, hey, he's got the largest corporations in the world now saying thank you. And it's not just Ron Wyden. It's Bennett from Colorado, Feinstein from California, Murray from Washington, Nelson from Florida, Cantwell from Washington, Carper from Delaware, Coons from Delaware, Kane from Virginia, McCaskill from Missouri, Jean Shaheen in New Hampshire, Warner in Virginia, and, as I mentioned, Ron Wyden. They all just voted to pass fast track for the next 6 years. And so, I realize in this, Citizens United environment that politicians, the Republicans embraced this right off, right? 2010, Citizens United, and bang, by 2012, the Republicans were like, where are our billionaires? And you'll recall, the whole Republican primary clown show. It was all, okay, Shelley Adelson just decided he's going to support Newt Gingrich for another 3 weeks. Another 3 weeks, Newt Gingrich is a viable candidate for the Republican presidency. Right? And so the Republicans were the first to embrace the idea of each one of us needs a billionaire. Marco Rubio's got his own personal billionaire. In fact, he wouldn't even be in the Senate without his personal billionaire. Increasingly, this is true right across the board. And now I would suggest that you've got 12 Democrats. So it's creeping into the Democratic Party. You've got 12 Democrats who probably don't need your money and probably don't give a damn what you have to say. Bennett, Feinstein, Murray, Nelson, Cantwell, Carper, Coons, Kane, McCaskill, Shaheen, Warner, and Wyden. And I would say to each one of them, well, actually, let Ronald Reagan say it to each one of them. In just a moment. Here is...
Our founding fathers here in this country brought about the only true revolution that has ever taken place in man's history. Every other revolution simply exchanged one set of rulers for another set of rulers. But only here did that little band of men so advanced beyond their time that the world has never seen their like since evolve the idea that you and I have within ourselves the God-given right and the ability to determine our own destiny. But freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
Wow. Today is that day. Or at least the setup for that day. TPP hasn't passed, but, you know, I think we've got 12 Democrats now who are clearly in the bag for the big transnational corporations. And why would they not be in the bag when TPP comes along? Actually, they don't even need them. You know, these Democrats now can safely vote against TPP because it only needs 50. You see, it took 60 votes. This was being filibustered. So by some Democrat, I don't know if it was Bernie or who it was, but somebody, you know, some Democrat was filibustering this thing, maybe Sherrod Brown. And so it took, it might have been Harry Reid for all I know. And so it took 60 votes to break the filibuster, which just happened this morning. So now when the bill comes up, it's only going to take 50 votes when TPP comes up. So all of these Democrats will be able to vote against it because there's 54 Republicans in the Senate, 50. There's more than 50, whatever the number is. And as a consequence, they'll you know, if you live in the district of one of these Democrats, you know, Bennett, Feinstein, Murray, Nelson, Cantwell, Capito. Oh, wait a minute, that's a Republican. Cantwell, Carper, Coons, Kane, McCaskill, Shaheen, Warner, or Wyden. If you live in one of their districts, then you will almost certainly, when the TPP vote comes up, be getting a fundraising letter or a, hey, look at me, how wonderful I am, vote for me when the next election comes up letter saying, I voted against TPP. Because now TPP will pass without, it doesn't need a single Democratic vote. There's enough Republicans to pass it. A few of the heroes of this, by the way, the people who voted no against their own party, Susan Collins. Cantwell's no longer in the... Susan Cantwell voted for it. She's the Democrat. Susan Collins, the Republican from Maine, voted no on fast track. Mike Lee, the Republican from Utah, voted no on fast track. Rand Paul, the Republican from Kentucky, voted no on fast track. And Jeff Sessions from Alabama, and Richard Shelby from Alabama, the two Republican senators from Alabama, both voted no on fast track. That's pretty impressive.